And there we are. So this is the regular meeting of Rundfunk mitbestimmen at Agile Ventures. It's Mariam, Faith, Federico, and I. And yesterday, so Matt and I, we were both working on the Dockerization, and we were happy to at least, or I was happy to get the working environment, even though we didn't run full-set tests so far. And Faith and Mariam, I'm very interested in what you did like yesterday. And so Faith, maybe you can share your screen. I will also click on your screen. So I think I'm the person who's focusing this Hangout. So your screen will be shown to other people.
Okay. You can see my screen.
Yep.
This
So-
is what
sorry,
we
go ahead.
did yesterday. We decided to start on writing the feature test for the issue we were working on, which is this FAQ.
Yeah. So this was just a suggestion. You're free to choose any issue you like, but I thought this might be a good one to learn. Also, a good issue without a lot of dependencies.
Yeah.
So this issue is about an FAQ page. I thought we could maybe, at some places in our application, link to one particular paragraph in an FAQ page. For example, when people sign up, they often want to understand why they have to provide their login details.
Okay.
So the answer is because the server needs to store it somewhere and limit the access to it, and also store it in order for you to get your data later on. So maybe we could link to that paragraph from just any place in the application. And it would be great if we would have one route FAQ with an hashtag ID. And if we link to this full URL /FAQ hashtag and then the ID, the visitor would be focused on that particular paragraph. That was the idea in the issue, right?
Yeah. What you just explained is related to this issue, right?
Yeah, basically, exactly. So people got annoyed when they wanted to sign up. They don't understand why do I have to do this. They just want to dump their data and leave and never come back. And
Okay.
and into like this, if you want to write into the database, the server needs somehow anyway to know who you are. So next time when you go to the application, to the website, you can get your data back. And your data is not lost. So that would be one example, but there might be other examples where we want to have a short link for explanations. Right?
Okay.
So Faith, did you check out the Ember guides that I linked in the Slack?
Not really. Nope. No.
That doesn't matter. It's no problem at all. Yeah, so I really recommend to read through the Ember guides. That's probably the best documentation you can get, and here you learn how the routing works in Ember. Right. So did you already generate the route FAQ?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. We only wrote this. So we had issues with
We wanted to start with Cucumber first, that's why.
Right, but that's also a good idea. So your intention was to create the Cucumber feature first?
Yeah. We tried to run the Cucumber test, but we ran into some problems with Chrome driver and Selenium and things like that, so we couldn't complete it.
Yeah. So have you been able to open a browser so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Faith, here, can you show it? How the Cucumber test looks like so far? So you can run a specific Cucumber test if you provide the file name, for example. So you can say bundle exec Cucumber and then the name of your file.
Yeah, but we used the mat
machine.
computer. Yeah.
Because I had issues with my machine.
I see. So what have been the issues on your machine?
I couldn't access Rails. I couldn't access Ruby. Couldn't access some things. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So when you want to run Cucumber tests, you want to say bundle exec Cucumber. So bundle means execute something, or bundle exec means execute something with the versions of the gem file. And then you provide, after bundle exec, you want to provide the command that you want to run. May it be Cucumber or rspec or whatever, or wake. And Cucumber in turn can accept a file name. That would be, for example, features FAQ page. Yes. So if that happens, you need to install bundles. You need to install your gems. The reason why is we have our backend and we have our feature folder, like the root folder, which has the full stack tests. Since we use Cucumber Ruby, we have to install Cucumber Ruby within that top level folder. That's what you are going to do right now. Does it make sense, Faith? Do you understand what I mean?
Yes. I think so.
And Mariam, how far did you get on your machine?
Well, I have a problem with Ember.js. That's why I haven't been able to run the code in my machine.
Yeah.
I didn't have the time to fix it. So.
What kind of problem did you face?
Like I do an npm install and it installs all packages, but and it shows that the Ember.js was installed. But then when I do Ember.js, when I try to use Ember, it says that it doesn't exist.
I see. So probably you have to install Ember CLI globally. So
yeah, I tried, but I will try again.
yeah. So probably you know how to install gems globally.
Yes.
With gem install, and if you want to install gems locally to your application specific, you use bundler in the Ruby world. And in the JavaScript world, we have package managers who can install dependencies either locally or globally.
Well, I'm using npm.
You can use npm or yarn, whatever you like. I'm using yarn.
Because I used npm. Maybe I should try with Gem.
It should be no problem. It shouldn't be no big deal whether you use npm or yarn. If you want to install something globally with npm, you provide the flag minus dash key g for short for global.
Yeah.
You can also say with yarn global add, and then the name of your whatever you want to install. That would be Ember CLI in your case.
Okay.
All right. So, Faith, you beautifully merged the master branch. And we also merged a pull request from Hugo and your commit, by the way, Faith. And you have to copy the database configuration file, that is database YAML. So before merging the pull request, this step wasn't necessary. But now, since we have the pull request, we need to copy this database YAML template into the actual database YAML, which is ignored. And you can also see that in our README.
This.
Exactly, that one, step 4.
Backend config.
So if you see this error message on your command line, yeah, you can also just issue the command below. So there was a command cp copy, and yeah, or just like that. So now you're in the top level folder. So you want to copy backend/config, and there you will find a file called database.template.yaml. And you want to copy that into backend/config/database YAML. Yes, that's the one. And you want to copy that one in the same folder, but name it database YAML.
So I write again. How do I indicate that I want to copy it in this folder?
If you just write backend/config/database YAML.
Okay.
So copy is always relative to your current folder. What's going on? No. So you have to provide the file name. So you want to provide database.yaml. You can copy files into folders, but then they will keep their old name. Yeah. So now you're basically copying it into another new file. Yes.
Okay. So do I need to configure anything?
I don't know. So I don't have to configure anything.
Okay.
Maybe you have to. It depends on your local database configuration.
Create the database.
So I think we'll find out with the next step if you need to or not.
Okay. So I should do this, right? Or not really?
If you did that before, you don't have to, but you can try. I mean, but remember, and I already see a problem with this README. This README expects, like step 4 expects you're in the top level folder, while step 1, 2, 3. No, step 3. All right, okay. So I got a little bit confused because that command should be run within the backend folder. The command that you just highlighted.
Okay.
And I was going to suggest you might want to just run the migrate to see if you get an error with your new database YAML file.
Okay.
Right.
So should I go to backend, or I should just run it here?
Yes. So you have to go into the backend folder, and this is something which is a little bit confusing in the README because it's omitting that you have to switch, like you have to CD into backend. Yeah.
So I don't know that you need to do the create. Is this the first time you run this on your machine?
Yes, because I formatted it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I formatted it.
Okay.
So, but I can see it. Viewing it on Postico, I can see the database. So I don't know how it got here. So,
Postgres.
Okay.
So you want to start your database. You have to manually start your database. Is that what
No.
you want to do?
No, but I thought I saw it from here.
That's just a
But it's-
representation of your database,
Uh-huh.
your Postgres. If
Okay.
if you look at the little elephant at the very top of on your menu bar, that means you're running Postgres at the very top right by your clock.
Okay. This.
Hmm.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I think you're okay in terms of it running. Postico is just so that you can view your database.
Okay. So if I can see it here, does it mean it's already on my machine? I don't need to create it on the terminal. Because I think
Yeah, I would say so. So I guess this list shows you your existing databases that are managed by Postgres, and apparently you ran DB create already, and this is why you have those two databases there. But Rails is smart enough. Even if you type in DB create, it will just tell you there is already a database called blah blah blah. So it will not be a big problem if you do things twice. Huh? Oh, yeah, right. So you did, yeah. So you have to run bundle installed in two different folders. You did install the bundles in your top level folder, but as I said, there is the backend folder, which also has its own gem file. And that's why you have to run bundle also in that folder.
Okay.
Do you understand why we have two gem files after all?
No.
So we have a backend and a frontend, and we are using Cucumber Ruby for full stack testing. But Cucumber Ruby is not part of the backend.
Okay.
It's something somewhere else. It's not necessary to run the backend. So that's why we have our top level folder, which has Cucumber Ruby, and a subfolder which is called backend, which only contains everything you need in order to run the backend.
Okay.
Meaning it's not including Cucumber Ruby. So you installed Cucumber Ruby and its friends, and now you're installing everything you need in order to run the backend. Does it make sense now?
Yes. It's,
Huh? Right. Yes, and now you get confused once more. This command cucumber obviously needs to be run exactly from the top level folder.
okay.
And there you go. Okay. So this is your new Cucumber feature test, is that correct?
Yes.
So whenever you just write down a Cucumber feature like that, and you have undefined steps, then Cucumber will give you some code that you can put into step definitions in order to implement those steps. If you go back to your terminal, you can see the code that was given to you by Cucumber at the very bottom.
Oh
It
yeah,
says you can implement step definitions for undefined steps with these snippets. So this is the code that you can just copy paste and put into step definitions.
the step definition already exists. It's like we changed it in Mat machine, but I think Fade didn't change it. We
Okay.
used a step definition that already exists.
Has he pushed? Oh, I could do it again.
So it's not committed or pushed yet.
Is it? I don't know. Did you
Yeah.
push?
It's in the step definitions files.
Who implemented the step definitions? Did you, Mariam, or did Matt?
No, it was already there.
It was already there.
Yeah, it's for visiting the landing page.
So how come that it's undefined on your machine faith?
It's because she didn't use the exact sentence that was used in the step definition in steps 5.
Right.
Okay, so this.
Exactly.
Right. There it is, yeah.
Exactly. So you can, the step definitions are built like a long list of so-called regular expressions. Regular expressions is like a pattern for a sentence or a piece of text. So you can either say you want to have an exact match, like when I visit the landing page, or you can also have, I don't know, just want to have the start of the sentence matching, and you can specify this with these regular expressions. And this pattern, the syntax is always the slash as the delimiter. So you have slash and slash, similar to double quote for strings, 2 slashes for regular expressions. And after and you have special symbols. So for example, circumflex is the beginning of the string, while the dollar symbol is the end of the string. So on line, just to give an example, on line 68, you have given I have signed up to a month ago. It has the circumflex at the beginning. So it must start with I have signed up 2 months ago. But since it doesn't have the dollar symbol before the second slash, it means you can write anything after that first part, and it will still match. Right? So you could write in your feature, I have signed up 2 months ago, and my name is Faith, for example, and it would still match because it doesn't matter what comes after 2 months ago. If you put in this dollar symbol just before this last slash, that would mean it has to stop there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Exactly. That would be the place where you could put into the dollar if you want to. And other step definitions have it.
Okay.
Right? So it depends on you. You just want to be at the most expressive in your Cucumber features while still calling the right step definition. And sometimes I'm adding more logic to the pattern. For example, if I want to say, given there is something in the database, or given we have, sometimes I just have both versions expressing just the same thing. And then I add something like, I don't know. For example, on line number 60, you have then, when, or nothing. So this group means you can add and then I click on, or you just say and I click on. That would both match line number 60.
Okay.
Or even when I click on. Do you see it?
Yes.
Exactly. So this stuff in the question mark after the parenthesis means it can be there or it cannot. So it doesn't matter if you have it or if you don't. So it might be there or not. So it means, yeah, you can add then space or when space or just nothing. But this is regular expression syntax. And there's a nice website which is called Rubular, I think, where you can test your regular expression.
Called?
I think it's called Rubular. I don't know if it's actually the name, but this is what I have in mind. maybe I'm wrong, but Google will definitely tell you.
What's I thought you'd texted it on the chat.
Or just search for Ruby regex tester.
Yeah. This.
Yeah, okay, well, editor and yeah, exactly. So you have your pattern in the first line, and note the double slashes. So those are already there. You only have to put in your pattern. And then you could add a test string in the text field below. And it will tell you which part of the test string would be matched. So this is a nice and easy way to test regular expressions in Ruby, if you didn't know it yet. Marian, did you know that site already?
Yes, I used it before. Yeah. But it was a long time ago.
Yeah. So for Cucumber, I'm using it many times.
Yeah.
All right. But regular expressions are okay now, Faith?
I have some sense of direction. They're not okay, but I have direction. So with time, I'm hoping they will be okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, now you know why you have to put in this exact sentence, given I visit the first page or the start page, I don't know.
Yeah, apart from... Have you
If you
explained
have-
this one?
Say it again?
Have you explained this one, the highlighted part?
Yes, of course. So
Okay.
parentheses means a group. If you want, you can take, or you can take a pattern and retrieve it from the regular expression. In that case, we are interested in what you want to click on. So this step definition is expressing a string that you want to click on. For example, a label of a button. Let's say you want to click on OK or cancel, right? Then you could write OK or cancel in double quotation marks. So that's why you have double quotation marks, and within those double quotation marks, parentheses. That means you have a group delimited by 2 double quotation marks. And what you see within this parenthesis is the actual pattern. That is, so the asterisk means a possibly indefinite number of characters or symbols. The asterisk after the square bracket. Yeah. These two square brackets mean a range of characters. So in that case, it's everything except a quotation mark. So it's kind of complicated, I have to admit, but the circumflex means not and refers to the next character. So not quotation mark, and the square brackets give you any character which is not the quotation mark. That could be anything except the quotation mark. And then you have the asterisk, meaning you can have it. You can have in a definite number of those characters. You can say AA, AAA, AABC, ABC, whatever, up to the last quotation mark. And you want to have the group because you want to take that, you want to match that pattern. So in that case, you have this parameter string at the end of the line. Can you please move your mouse on this block parameter string, which is called string? Yes. So this string refers to what's in the regular expression group. So this string will used on line 61. You have a method called click on, and string is whatever was within those quotation marks. Does that make sense? Yes.
Yeah.
So this is just a complicated way of writing anything but double quotation marks.
Okay.
Because you need the double quotation marks as the delimiters of the string you want to capture.
Makes sense.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
And as you can see, there's no dollar symbol, so you can say when I click on OK, and I don't know, I like the page, whatever. So you can write anything after those after this sentence. So because the dollar symbol is not there, it allows you to add anything at the end to this particular step definition.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yes, and that was, for example, another case. We have 3 capture groups: title 1, title 2, title 3. All right.
Okay.
It's maybe a little bit complicated. It's better not to have too much logic in one step definition. But yeah. And there's one special case. That is line number 95. So Cucumber allows you to add either a multi-line string below your step definition or a table. So you will find examples in other Cucumber features. We have a table with pipe symbols as a delimiter, or you have a multi-line string with 3 double quotation marks, right? So, for example, in line number 95, you have a sentence calling, then my responses in the database are like this, colon, and then some kind of table. And Cucumber parses this table for you. So you will get back, even though you don't have any capture group in that step definition, you have a block param, which is called table. And this is the parsed table of a Cucumber feature. It's helpful if you want to set up some state in the database, or if you, in that case, want to check state in the database. It helps you to iterate through rows in that table, right?
Yeah.
So for your features, so what you want to do is, all you want to do is probably you want to visit a particular route /FAQ, for example, and you want to see something, and that's it. I would say that's a valid Cucumber feature. Maybe you can show me the current description of your Cucumber feature. Yeah, so in that case, you want, yeah, that's a great description of the Cucumber feature. As a maintainer of the application, I want a dedicated FAQ page with anchors so that I can send journalists and other users a deep link into the FAQ. So this first description is very useful because it's a so-called user story. It has 3 very important information. The first information is who wants something. So who has a particular problem or an interest into that feature? And that would be the maintainer of the application, which is, for example, me, myself, Robert, or any other person who's maintaining that website. Second, what should be implemented? And third, which is very, very important, why? So you have those who, what, and why in those 3 lines. The why is very important because it expresses the customer value of that particular feature.
Okay.
In that case, for example, you want to send a journalist a link, a deep link into the FAQ so they can directly get some desired information. So that's very important.
Okay.
It's really important. I cannot stress it more. I cannot stress it enough because many people forget to tell the developer the reason why something needs to be implemented. If you, the developer phase, know why you are doing something, you have a choice how you're going to implement it here. You know the goal, and you're choosing the right solution to it. Right? So this has a lot of advantages because you are in charge to find the best solution in order to tackle a problem. If whoever is asking you, your customer or whoever, is not telling you the reason why something needs to be implemented, you don't have this choice to deliver the best solution for a problem. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Right. Okay, and then you have the scenario, navigate to the FAQ page. Usually a scenario is organized in 3 steps. First, you have some database setup, or you have some test setup. That is the given part. Then you have you kind of execute your application or your shadow application. That is the when part. And then you expect some result and see if everything went well. And that would be the then part. So I would always add those 3 lines in every scenario.
Yes. Should I?
It's just this given when then structure is more like a routine, like more something you get accustomed to when you develop Cucumber features. It's like a tradition, but it's a good tradition because it helps you to structure your tests and also stress out, distinguish what's actually now the test setup and what's actually the piece under test, like what's the particular code under test. And sometimes you could, for example, say, in the other Cucumber feature, I think you had when I visit the landing page, while in that scenario, you could say given I visit the landing page, meaning now you're on the page, you're not challenging the application. The landing page is not the thing that is currently on a test. It's just that you are on the landing page and you want to click on something and get to the FAQ page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Confusing, or is it logical? Like,
it's confusing when I visit the landing page.
I see. Maybe Matt or Federico, can you help me?
Yeah, sure. I think what might help a little bit if we did like an analogy of actual RSpec tests. I know Faith is familiar with RSpec. And so like the given might be the data that you get when you do like a let construct, and the when might be like the before block, and then the then is what you're actually when you actually do your expect something. So it's similar, but at a user story level, at a higher level. And what Robert was saying there right now is, so on that one right there, you're it's when you're actually visiting the landing page. On the one you're working on now, or I'm sorry, which one are you working on? You're working on that one, right?
FAQ.
On that one, yes. It already assumes that you're on the landing page. You're not testing that, and so that's why it's in the given block. Hopefully that helped you out a little bit. I don't know If Robert, you have something else?
There, you explained it perfectly.
Well, I just repeated what you said. So
Yeah, I think for me, like the given is a condition that's already been met, like they were saying, and then when is something that you're planning on doing to, and when you do that, then you expect, like Federico said, something will happen.
yeah.
So you
Go
can
ahead.
either use when or given. Like
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
what we in the MOOC that we were taking, we one of the things that they ask you to do is they ask you to actually change the when to given and change the given to when and to rerun the test. And actually, they can be used interchangeably, and it doesn't make any difference as far as passing the test. But as far as the readability is concerned, I think that like given in in English, it's something that the conditions already been met. You know, like Federico was saying, we already expect that the user is on the landing page, so that condition is already met. We're not testing that. We're testing like when they do something, then something else happens.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And then when we can add it to the, like, for example, when the user clicks on the FAQ.
when the user.
When the user clicks on an FAQ question, then it should redirect to the FAQ page.
yeah, I think Miriam is just trying to tell you what you could write. When the user clicks on the FAQ, then
Yeah.
what did you say, Miriam? Then it'll redirect?
Yeah, it redirects to the FAQ landing page.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
So whether when comes before the given.
No. Well,
Okay.
no, not.
No, it's the right
and
order. Given, when, then.
yeah.
Think of it like a language. Just think that you're speaking to a human being, like your fellow coworker, and you all agree on that language, given, when, then. And both of you know, okay, given is the test setup, when is whatever I want to test, and then is my expectation of the result.
Okay.
So if you want to express yourself, you use that given, when, then, depending what you want to test. So in that other test case, as Federico explained, visiting the landing page is the actual testing, the execution, like what you're interested in, what you want to test. Well, now you're just saying, given I visit the landing page, I'm already there.
Okay.
That you're not currently in that test case interested in testing the landing page, even though for a cucumber it's just the same, because it will execute the very same step definition. For a cucumber, it doesn't really make any difference if you have given, when, or then before that sentence. It will both take the same step definition. Is it like, does it make more sense now? Is it better? Do you feel better with it?
Yes, I do.
So Federico is typing something, given a range, when, act, and then.
Can you guess what the last one is? So then.
Expectation.
So this is no. If you notice the A's.
Yeah. Sorry.
So the last one is assert.
Probably.
Yeah. Yep. Correct.
Assert.
Range, act, assert. Right.
Yeah.
And that minus sign was meant to be an equal sign. It's just a way to to help you think of it sometimes. Some people, I think it's common in like people who develop in C#, and so they might not be working with Cucumber, and so they'll just put in comments. They'll put arrange, and then they'll do all the arrange steps. Then they'll put in comments act, and then they'll put all the act steps, and then assert.
So act or arrange, act, and assert is a convention which is used in C#. Was it that?
Yeah, I said C#. I think it's more popular in like C# and Visual Basic, where you're not actually using Cucumber. You're just helping arrange your test, and you just add them as a comment. It's not a keyword.
Yeah.
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 It's just, yeah.
I think it would be better if when the user clicks on a frequently asked question or on one of, instead of on the, because on the makes it seems like there's only one frequently asked question, whereas there's several links.
Yeah.
I think we can change it to the one that already exists, because like clicking on something will already be defined in step definition,
Sure.
and we will just have to write.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I didn't
Because
get that.
right now we're testing the accordion functionality of the frequently asked questions, so it would be in the step definitions already, right?
What was the good suggestion that Marion gave?
Oh,
I think
just like to look through the step definitions and see if the steps for clicking and link already exist.
Maybe it's that one that Robert was saying, when I click on and anything
Yes.
you click on.
Yes, and you put the FAQ question there between the brackets. Right.
This.
On line 60, I think.
Yeah, safety.
Here you can just say when I click on, for example.
So
It will
create,
match the step definition.
I create another
click
block.
on. You can start from my click on.
Wait, I'm not sure I get what you all are saying. Should I create another block doing something similar to this? Or
No, copied just the sentence. And yeah.
then I click on.
And you can start. You can start from just I click on. Yeah.
Yeah. You can just paste that and add it to your feature. You can also copy from not the step definition file, but from other Cucumber features. Sometimes it's hard to read what do I have to type in order to match that regular expression, but you can just take it from other Cucumber features. And I mean, those will definitely be matched by some step definition. And there you have just plain text. So here, no, there's no click on. Yeah, but this one, everything which is between feature and the first scenario is just ignored. The text below your feature title is just documentation. It's ignored.
Okay.
That one, yeah, that doesn't have any effect. Oh no, you can also just write when I click on. That will definitely match the regex. Yeah, not when the user clicks on, but when I click on. And then you need some double quotation marks. you just write some label or a string, something that you see, and then you can add anything you want. So now you're clicking on empty string.
So I should write something.
Yeah.
In the string.
For example, the question, why do I have to log in? That's what many users are expecting. I don't think we have that FAQ so far on our landing page, but we want to have it there.
What context should I use?
You can.
Why do you or why do I
would say from the perspective of the user. So you as the user, you visit the website and you want to support broadcasts, and then you get this login window and they think, come on, why do I have to log in? Why does everybody wants to get my my data, you know, like my personal data? So maybe you will ask yourself, why do I have to log in? Question mark. Exactly. So this one will try to find some link or button which has that label. Why do I have to log in? So you could fix that later on by adding a link on the landing page with that phrase in it.
Okay.
Yeah. And now you would, for example, expect when you click on that link that this will bring you to an FAQ page. So you could write something. I don't think we have a step definition for matching the URL. I don't know. Maybe we have, but it's not a big deal to add one more step definition. So feel free to add more step definitions to that file. Okay. Feel free to add as many step definitions as you want, as long as it reads nicely. Okay, so who has used Cucumber in 2012 or 2013? Federico, did you use Cucumber in 2012?
In 2012, no, 2013, but I was not very good at it.
Have you used the web steps?
The web steps? No, so I don't know what you're talking about. What are the web steps?
Yeah, so this Norwegian guy, Aslak Hellesøy, who invented Cucumber and also implemented the first reference implementation of Cucumber.
Is it a file for visiting pages? By grouping the steps for visiting pages, right?
You're correct. So he had some step definitions for you set up for like common use cases, clicking on links, following like whatever, expecting a page to expecting a string or something. Exactly, that's those so-called web steps. There's even there are blog posts about it, why people should not use them, because those Cucumber features started to read they started to read boringly. So you put people asleep when you want to read those features. You don't know exactly what's going on and what's currently being tested here, what's the whole point of that feature. So you just write down a nice story which reads nicely, and the step definitions is fine. If you need to add more step definitions, that's okay, as long as your Cucumber feature reads nicely and is very expressive. Those web steps were just like click that link, go on that page, expect to read that string. And so if you have a Cucumber feature which just has those very generic like instructions, then you don't know what is actually going on. What does this has to do with my feature that I want to test? In that case, your FAQ page. So that's all I want to say is feel free to add more step definitions if you need them. If you can of course reuse existing step definitions, but you don't have to. Maybe someone can help me and while Faith is writing the definitions, I'm going to
I
search.
found something on line 957 that I think is different, but maybe it could be a starting point. I think that it's actually checking for a URL on the page instead of checking. Yeah.
I think we can just use the example of on the progress page, like line 952. Yeah, and then just to visit /FAQ, and yeah, that's all. We would just be using the visit.
Okay. So have another block, then only have a line that's like this, but then FAQ one.
Yeah. Is it right?
Well, I think that and because it's a then block, I don't think we would visit because we're expecting that the click on the button would reroute the person to the page. So I think we would just be expecting the URL to equal, but I could be wrong.
FAQ and the question. Yeah.
Or could we just assert that the page has content that reads like, I don't know, something that we're going to put on the page, like frequently asked questions page?
Yeah, that's also possible. Yeah.
But I couldn't find an explanation of what I meant on the web. All I could find is the link that I just provided. And you're currently figuring out how to check the current URL. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you can just do that. There is a method in Capybara, which is called current path.
Visit.
It gives you the string of whatever is in your address bar at the moment.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Current path. That was really helpful.
Yeah.
So I guess you just made a nice reading feature.
I made
a nice reading feature. I didn't watch your screen, so I don't know.
No, we haven't added
we
a step
haven't added
definition.
anything.
That's
I want
the
to
problem.
commit.
Java will generate the step definition for you. So you just according to your Git status, you just changed the feature.
Yeah.
And probably you just you sketched, one could say, your cucumber feature. Does that make sense? What your opinion?
I think did you also change the first? Because I didn't see.
Did I also change
the first step? Because yeah, it should be I visit the landing page. No, the one with given.
Yeah, also exactly. So if you all explain everything from the first person perspective, the feature should also read, like every sentence should read from your first person, not the user, and then suddenly you are the user. You can say, given I visit the landing page, and I click on, and then I am on whatever. Exactly. So now I would also add a then step, something like then I am on the FAQ page, and that's it. That's fine. Yes. All right. I would say that's an amazing cucumber scenario.
I would agree. It's amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I have to sleep.
That's okay, Faith. It's got to be like 10 o'clock over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 1 hour already. So do you think this might be a good place to stop the regular meeting? I don't want to have excessively long regular meetings. It should be 1 hour and a little less.
What's the other amazing commit messages?
Explain what you did and why you did it. Just sketch a cucumber feature. I don't know, maybe you can mention the issue number or whatever.
336. Should I mention?
Or just say FAQ page?
Say it again, please, Mariam.
Just a feature for FAQ page.
Yeah, basically you just created a feature. Sketch cucumber feature. That's fine.
FAQ page.
Yeah, FAQ feature. Yeah, awesome. Great. Nice.
Right. Or will I push to master?
Yeah. No, make sure you push it.
No, don't push the master.
No. We talked about that yesterday.
Is it origin?
Well, it should be tracking. You should be able to just do git push. Yeah,
Will
you can
automatically create a remote branch if you just say git push.
Oh, you haven't pushed that up yet, that branch?
Yeah, we pushed with the -u yesterday, so that should set up stream.
Okay.
There you go. Awesome. And before we finish, I just want to show you how to generate the step definition. If you run bundle exe cucumber feature FAQ page now, Cucumber will generate everything you need. You don't need to write this regular expression by hand. It will generate it for you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Maybe you want to run that, Robert, for us, or just to show us?
I can.
You could probably do it faster since we're wrapping up.
Yes.
Or I could do it too.
Yes, Federico, please.
Okay, so it'll be a lot longer because I haven't updated my.
All right, so then I'll do it.
My repo.
I can do it as well. I'm already in there.
Okay, Matt, then go ahead.
I share my screen. Okay, so then I need to pull, right? Or just...
Yeah, pull from the branch that Faith just updated.
Oh, okay.
And also I should click on your screen so everybody can see.
Bundle exec cucumber. Bundle exec cucumber?
Yeah, and then the file name. And by the way, I could see like a suggestion. You can add a variable in order to run the actual browser, like a Firefox browser or Chrome browser, and see what's going on. And Matt just had that on the command line.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out why the tests weren't run yesterday. I don't know if you already talked about that today. Okay.
Without the parameters, it will just run a headless browser.
Oh, yeah, because I haven't copied the...
Oh, okay.
It's just cp backend config database template YAML to
cp
tab config tab config database and then backend config YAML.
Database start, yeah.
So I don't know what's going on, why it's all red. Anyway, it's denied for this document. Interesting.
But we have what we want.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we have what we want. You can see in yellow the generated cucumber step. Now it's out of the page. Can you scroll down a little bit, Matt? There it is. Then what? Then anything? No way.
There is nothing working.
Can you? Okay, I just wanted to wrap up. Can you please figure out why we have empty string here? Can you open the feature? Just
Here.
That's the step definition file. I want to have a quick look on the FAQ page feature. Probably that was not included in the commit. So maybe you can just quickly write down on the FAQ page, say that file, run cucumber again, and then we see the generated step definition. You can just copy paste that and put that into the step definition file. This is how I do it all the time.
This here?
You don't need to copy that one. If you run bundle exec cucumber.
Oh, okay, I thought you said to copy and paste it.
Yeah.
After you run it.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So this is the code that you can copy paste into your step. Right. So I would just wrap up. Are there any questions regarding how to implement cucumber features or step definitions so far?
Does it matter where I put this? Should I put it at the bottom, or should I find the when I?
There's absolutely no reason to put it somewhere. Sometimes people like to have multiple step definition files. So any file which has the ending underscore step or just steps. Yeah, I think any file which ends with steps is regarded as a step definition file. So you can have a file steps or step definitions. I don't know. I'm only using one file because I'm using Vim and I don't care about having thousands of lines of code. Sometimes people use an editor like you do, Atom, and you have a scroll bar, and it's inconvenient for really long files. So people start to have more than one file. It doesn't really matter where you put it. It has absolutely no meaning. It's just for you, for the developer. If it feels better for you to have one or more files, or where you put it in the file, that's up to you. How do you do it, Federico? Do you have different files for your step definitions? Do you use Cucumber after all?
Yeah, I prefer to have it in different files, and because I don't really use Vim as much for doing my actual coding. I just use it for like Matt just did for commit messages and like looking at other stuff within the terminal. And yeah, I think, what I was just thinking, it would make a good issue if someone wanted to break them up into different files. I don't know how you feel about that, Robert. To make different files to make it more convenient for people like Matt or myself who use a IDE or a editor.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you feel more comfortable with it, Matt, you can, or anybody, feel free to split those step definitions into more files. So for me, it was never a problem because I'm using Vim, and I think the reason why people, or the advantage of having multiple files, is the scroll bars. You don't have to scroll so much with your scroll bars. I'm using Vim, so I'm just searching for a particular word, and immediately I get what I want. So for me, it doesn't matter if there are millions of lines in one file, but other people do. But if you feel the urge to structure it into separate files and split it up, that could be one issue, yeah.
And when I saw that Matt put line 957, I thought that has to be a typo. That cannot be a line 957. But then I saw that he scrolled down, and I was, yeah, because I haven't really looked at the step definitions, and I was surprised. But it's okay. People do it, and obviously you do it, Robert, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, some people also prefer different files. Yeah. Either way is fine, I think.
Yeah. I hope it makes sense why people use Cucumber, because of the documentation that comes with it. You could also use RSpec for the same thing. You could use RSpec with Capybara. Many people do it. Right. The nice part about Cucumber is you have executable documentation. You can kind of try to speak to people through your Cucumber features and explain how you're going to use the application or what you expect from it. That's the whole point here. So don't worry about the implementation of the features. Just worry about how they read. Do they read nicely? Do they tell you a story? And if they do, then it's great. And I just put it a link how to improve your features so they read nicely.
Yeah, thanks for that.
All right, so I would say if there are no questions from your side, Mariam, Faith, Matt, Federico, I would say let's finish that regular meeting.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm good. I think it was a good session.
All right.
Yeah.
We got a thumbs up from Faith.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you very much.
so much.
Thanks.
I'll sleep tonight as well.
Bye.
Thanks, Robert.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys.